very high in demand will often sleep with women who are not very high in demand, and it just doesn't work the other way around. Like, Taylor Swift is not out here picking up guys who work at McDonald's.
You never know, though, do you? You know, I used to go to McDonald's, and when I'd go, I saw some Travis Kelce-looking motherfuckers working the fryers. Anything's possible. There's one truth here, which is that men are more willing to go down on the looks rating in terms of for casual sex and hookups. That's another cheeky foot on the scale moment there, is that the guy who works at McDonald's, that's meant as a, oh, you're lower on the status scale. But what if he's sexy as fuck? Like Travis Kelce. That's why I made that joke, because Travis Kelce's a handsome guy. Travis, if you're watching this, I think you're a handsome guy. But that's where the idea of hypergamy, girls are always trying to go higher up, kind of falls apart, because working at McDonald's is down on the ladder, but there's other directions you could go, and attractiveness is one of them.
So promiscuity is bad because it means do what I want. And doing what you want means that nobody has any say over whether or not you stay in your marriage but you. So as soon as it feels bad, you're going to leave, and you're gonna jump into this disaster where you're gonna go look for the best you can get, and you're gonna convince yourself that this guy almost married you even though he would never be seen with you in public. And then you're gonna get your heart broken so many times that you're just gonna start hating men, and you're gonna go, all men are the same, all men, even though you're only talking about these men. And these men down here are so completely detached from society and hopeless that they don't have any reason to contribute to society at all. And then everything falls apart because nobody is building.
That last one was a perfect little run, minute-long run of kind of sums up the video. I feel like these are the ones where it's hard to know if I even need to like go into like debunking, or if it's self-evidently that this is just kind of weird stuff. The real-world example that you could point towards here that connects with what's being said is that because the trend of young men being single and sexless is rising, and because men generally function better while in stable relationships, and because that situation is associated with you know, less connection with society, neat non-employment, and or in training, like that's all true stuff that is happening. It's just, again, back to the question of what do we do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'm more of the school of thought of get in that gym, be a positive force on the world. Don't you know, think too much about sex and relationships, or when you're struggling with it, that's a recipe for disappointment constantly. Focus on yourself, kings. But based on the philosophy being sort of etched out here, the answer is to return to tradition.
It's not controversial to say that promiscuity is increasing. What is controversial is how much and why it matters. But all the bad things you would expect to see are there. The birth rate is dismal. People are getting married later than ever. Rudyard told me that once that number reaches 28, it's bad news. So we might be stuck.
So far as two history sources are this guy who said something and this other guy who said something. Not only did he say something, he said it was bad news. Compelling case. He's making a compelling case. He's right, it isn't controversial to say that promiscuity is increasing. The first question, though, isn't why that's bad. In order to postulate on the relative badness or goodness, it needs to be a controlled experiment. This shit he's talking about, there's so many fucking variables too, right? This is just classic correlation equals causation.
The increase in single motherhood is not good for children. We've known that for a long time. And psychiatric medication rates are spiking amid ongoing uncertainty. Again, I'm pretty certain that it is the breakdown of society.
That little foot, Hellmouth, you love putting it on the scale, man. The psychiatric medication spike, look at the date range. Weeks of the year of 2020. What could be happening during the weeks of the year of 2020? Anything? Everyone was having a lot of sex, right? Everyone was sucking and fucking. Yeah, I remember that. Classic case of that. All right, so I've been begging for a solution for this whole video, and it appears we may have stumbled upon it at the end. Let's listen.
So what is the solution? Well, we have to get away from this model where people do what feels good in the moment and back to this model where people make decisions that are good for them and the long term and good for their communities. It's me, me, me. That's what's killing us. Now, on the other hand, China has actually increased its marriage rate for the first time in 9 years. How did they manage that? Well, the government has been campaigning to promote marriage. What does that look like? Well, I'm not sure. but I know what it doesn't look like.
It's perfect, man. It's perfect. Nothing can be advocated for on the internet without it having to be in contrast with a TikTok of someone saying some dumb shit. Me ignoring every guy because I'm loyal to my ex. That's just someone saying something crazy. The destruction of society is, it's a pretty serious problem, I would say. So you'd think solutions would be high on the priority list, but not for home math here. And that's okay, right? If you want to outline the problem and just see where people take it, that's fine. But that's my question, is where do you take it? If you want to promote marriage, start a fucking marriage promotion YouTube channel. Vote in people that you think will promote trad values. Also, just a little caveat, but that statistic about marriage rates in China is actually a little more complicated than he's making out to seem. What goes unmentioned here is the myriad of other factors that likely influence this uptick, namely lifts in pandemic-related restrictions, Chinese cultural influences regarding abstinence from marriage during certain years, 2022, the year before the uptick, being one of them. The uptick has been described as an overdraft on this year's marriages. The article Home Math provides is somewhat unclear about exactly when and how this marriage promotion campaign was undertaken, but elsewhere it has been noted that actual material incentives were implemented by the government, things like improved childcare systems and parental leave policies. Xi Jinping didn't get up on the podium and say, "No more one-night stands, you little perverts." It was other stuff. Also, divorces went up, which sort of goes without saying. That's just more evidence that quantity over quality is important. Not every marriage is perfect.
I have referred to this phenomenon of women going after guys who won't commit as being stuck on her highest setting. It's also called being an alpha widow. It's when she remembers one guy forever who no one else can ever measure up to, and she dreams of being with him even though he's not coming back. Cultivating that attitude is central to this collapse.
Alpha widow? Oh, fuck, I love you. I love you. That's just someone not being over their ex, which is just a thing people do. Straight up. That's a thing people do. I think this content can be very easily identified with by a lot of people because he's describing an insecurity, something that people are insecure about, being compared to former partners, of not adding up, and of potentially being left for an ex. That's fucked up. Doubly fucked up if that's happened to you, which, if you read through the comments, it seems like it's happened to, some of the people in the comments, which makes sense why that message would resonate with them. However, that's not something you overcome emotionally with home math. No offense to home math. You don't fix that with content. You fix that with communication in real life, ideally friends and family. If you can make it happen, a therapist would be good to unpack some of that shit. It's one thing to see your girl texting her ex and be like, wait, what's up? To have some skepticism about that. It's another thing entirely to obsess over the idea that she's thinking about him all the time, 24/7, for no reason, with no evidence. That, I think, is one potential, tangible, harmful effect of just these types of videos. Resentment, charging it up, and compounding insecurity, which, again, insecurity, from my perspective, I think from a lot of people's perspective, isn't the sexiest thing. Jealousy is a pretty normal thing in relationships, but unkempt, limitless jealousy that turns into, full insecurity, not sexy. And if you're worried about getting cheated on, being less sexy and being obsessive and untrusting for no reason, I don't feel like that's not going to help your chances of not getting cheated on,
Well, I'm going to finish my point with just a few examples of what this does to the minds of Western women. Yes, even grandma. These are all just TikToks that I collected over time. They were all very popular. This is what women are saying to each other.
Yes. Here we are. These TikToks say a lot about society. It's just anecdotes, It's just some anecdotes. Don't take it with a grain of salt, except they did have millions of views. So statistically, that doesn't mean shit, man. That's the whole point of it being anecdotes and not statistics. It doesn't matter how big unless the number is 3 billion. I actually don't know what the number would need to be. That's not how stats work. He knows that's not how stats work. That's why he threw the caveat in there. But it's a meaningless caveat because he's still using the stats to back up a video whose central narrative is women be shopping and cheating and we got to return.
Here we go. Celebrity crush. She says, all that work and what did it get me? Because she pulled her celebrity crush and doesn't like regular people anymore. So she pulled her celebrity crush, but could not keep him because she's not at his level. And now that is her new highest setting. He's all she can think about, and normal guys don't do it anymore.
Yeah, if I was getting to know someone and I saw that TikTok on their page, red flag for sure. I'm peacing out at that point. Corollary example here. A man has a first love ex who he loved very much and was the most attractive person he'd ever dated. Who's going to compare to that? Who knows? But that's the thing that happens with men. It being a celeb is a very specific thing, which that's probably a percentile of actual people, but same general concept. Someone that should not be going back out and dating who does, and then does weird shit like that.
Here's another. She's singing "Gotta Whisper 'Cause I Can't Be Too Loud." She says this even though she posted it to the internet. She knows she's gonna drunk call the guy she really wants at her bachelorette party. I made this video a while back about a guy who proposed to a girl twice, and she said no twice, but she still wanted to be with him. And he got frustrated and said, what is she waiting for? And the answer was probably another guy who she wanted to come back and replace this one, even though he was never gonna do that.
I love the Chad drawing. That is the penultimate sexy guy. I'm not gonna criticize your doodling. I really like the format. You gotta draw a better sexy guy, because that guy looks like Roblox Jeremy Fragrance.
And she already knows this is her in 10 years at her bachelorette party.
That's like a really fucked up type of person. Unanimous. There's no one that looks at that and says, yes, girl, go do that shit. Doesn't matter how many likes that TikTok has. It's an echo chamber of social media that's people being insane freaks, which you can find for any time. Let's look up some shit right now. Yeah, here's a video with 2.5 million views that says, when someone shows interest in me, but I only want my ex. That's a guy not being over his ex to the point that it affects his dating. Not as heinous as leaving at the altar. That's like the fucking worst thing you could do. But it's the same thing about a guy being not over his ex. Me, because I'ma still go back to my ex no matter what they do. That's a guy not over his ex. It's always my favorite ex over anybody. That's another guy who not over his ex. I ain't never letting go. These videos all have a lot of views, millions. But no, alpha widows. That's the only type of thing. And it's reinforced by this evidence that I have of a TikToker saying some fucked up shit.
Here's a girl who has to say goodbye to her type because she wants to be treated like a princess. So in order to get out of this area and into this area, she knows she has to settle for less.
Oh my God, what is this chart? Holy shit. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is a chart he made for attractiveness stages. I like these, man. I think they're really fun. Keeper, sleeper, sweeper. The girls one has different stuff of ratings of Prince Charming down to situationship, down to mid to bad.
Here's another marriage one. She's planning to leave a man at the altar if her old buddy comes back.
A lot of times these things are posted sort of with pride, right? But a lot of times it's like, it's a self-evidently fucked up thing, and I'm admitting to it because it's like self-deprecating almost. It's like, I'm pathetic. I'm a piece of shit. I don't know if that's how this person meant it, but I see that shit all the time. Everyone in the comments like, literally me, and I hate myself for it.
This one's harsh. Something she's not ashamed of is she will always choose her ex-situationship over anyone that thinks they have me. That is brutal. She would drive 2 hours to see him and can't commit to a good guy because of him. You should be ashamed of that.
Imagine getting this upset over a clearly inflammatory TikTok that has 1,000 comments. You already know whatever he said here, whatever he yelled about how she should be ashamed, was yelled at her 1,000 times, because that's a fucked up thing to say. Like, anyone that goes to date this person and sees that post is fucking out of there. I feel like that's like so wild, you know?
Let's speed this up. On my way to engagement party, thinking of my ex, running back to a man who hurt her before. Ha 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 ha, wee! How could the known player have played me too? I'm so shocked. Forcing herself to go out with a good guy while waiting for the toxic one.
Oh, wow. I'm learning so much here about society. Anytime someone brings up TikToks to tell you something about society, that person is not, no offense, that's not a very smart point to make. I know why he's doing it though. It's because he has these TikToks built up and he needs to really hit home for the guys that are insecure, that are bought into the previous notion of society. It worked. This will work. It's clever rhetorically. It's just so fucking stupid.
And in case you're hoping they grow out of it, just read that. And in case you're gonna say not all women are like that, I love my guesses and feelings. May I refer you to the movie Titanic?
No fucking way. In case you're worried about my lack of statistical data here, consult a movie.
If you haven't seen Titanic, here's a timeline. It's about an old lady on her deathbed who had a long, full life with kids, grandkids, marriage, all the stuff. And all that she can talk about is the one time that a homeless guy hit her on a boat. Box office smash. Do you see this? Blue blue line, that's Titanic. It beat Avatar, it beat Jurassic World. I don't know why that's there. But you see how these lines kind of die out and this one keeps going? That's how much women love the guy who is never coming back. They prefer him to the guy who proposed twice.
That is why that movie is so popular. Every woman I know walked out of that theater saying, I want to fuck a homeless guy on a boat. I want to resent my man for the rest of my life because I fucked a homeless guy on a boat, and he was young Leonardo DiCaprio. Was he the one she fucked on a boat? I don't remember. I don't remember the movie. I should actually go back and watch it because this is an important point to be able to debunk because it is statistically relevant how many people watch Titanic. It really says a lot about society.
That is what happens when you let people do what they want instead of making them do what is right.
We're letting people do what they want, and we need to make them do what is right. Make them, as in you don't get a choice. See, I just can't get on board with that, man.
Prioritizing your selfish lower urges, what do I want, causes social decay. It's as simple as that.
I mean, yeah, if everyone's doing just what they want without thinking about anyone else, that's inherently social decay. The video starts with society's done, man. Everything's gonna crash and burn. But in order to back up that humongous claim that promiscuity is gonna be the thing that causes that social decay to the point of society collapsing, very different, very different. I say go for it, try your best. In this video, that does not happen at all. Look, I don't know, man, this video tired me out. I sometimes have trouble telling when I need to talk about shit or when I need to laugh at shit. And if my brain's turned off, I can't do anything but laugh at the shit. Not the guys that may be being compelled by this, because I feel for you. If you've been cheated on, if you've wanted a date and you just can't get a single match and are being rejected constantly and are being told you're ugly by society. And I just hope to point out that this seems like a kind of a silly extremist way to react to that. And there are some tangible steps you can take to alleviate the situation that don't involve slut shaming, reverting society back to something where everyone has to be virgin. Obsession over body count, I think, stems a lot from insecurity about sexual performance. I think guys want to be good in bed, and if there's a lot of former sexual partners comparatively to other people, there's more of a likelihood that you're not the best sex you've ever had with your partner. Two things there. While you're having sex with your partner, think about having sex with them, not having sex with them and all their former previous partners. That sounds like a stressful thing. And two, get good. Anytime someone's presenting you with TikToks of women saying crazy shit, there's an agenda there. They're trying to prove a point, and they're tricking you to do it. You're better than that. Don't get tricked by these guys. Okay, ending this video now. See you later. Enjoy. Hi, bye.
It's been a minute since I did a good old-fashioned video essay, and I wanted to do one for Pride Month, specifically talking about queer characters in media, and more specifically, to talk about how and why characters that might not be explicitly queer still get claimed as such, and why that's often an entirely valid way to interpret art. But before I do that, I want to talk about another piece of queer-led art. I have been doing YouTube full-time now for a whole year, and in that time, I've yet to do any ad spots because I hadn't been approached with a project I felt comfortable sharing with my audience. Which is why I'm proud to bring you Stardust, a queer-led sci-fi multimedia project that is on Kickstarter right now from Sublight Games, an independent studio founded and led by trans women. The Kickstarter for Stardust includes a novel-length prequel written by Faith K. Faulkner and an accompanying audiobook featuring a full voice cast and an audio drama with original music and sound effects, all leading into a full tabletop gaming experience. I have read through the Kickstarter myself, and it is one of the most comprehensive and ambitious projects I've seen in quite some time. I was on board with the premise itself, but when I saw the team's commitment to a strictly no generative AI workspace, I knew this was a project I could feel good showing to my audience. With that in mind, and considering the focus of this essay is all about creating more queer-led art, I hope you will check out the impressive work of this dedicated team and support them.
Have I been in combat before? Every day is combat.
The beautiful thing about art is that it is open to interpretation, often interpretations that the creator might not have expected or intended. So it is with queer characters in film, TV, and especially video games. And it shouldn't surprise you to know that people don't like it when you infer or say a character is queer, even as a joke. For example, we can look to a recent tweet of mine about Aya Brea, the protagonist of Parasite Eve 2, and absolutely nothing else. This tweet I made got me some flack on social media. I made a simple shitpost in a recognizable style, and people on the internet took it very seriously and even joked that I deserved to be beaten to death with hammers for joking around that this character might be queer. This behavior isn't new to me. Earlier this year, something very similar happened when I made another very obvious joke that people got mad about. You know what was similar between these two instances, though? Aside from the fact that both were throwaway jokes meant to make my audience chuckle and move on, that broke outside of my audience.
Honestly, I get too upset seeing negative comments. So, sorry. I know it's probably fun to y'all, but
the YouTube space is filled with so many different genres of content, types of content, commentary YouTube, beauty YouTube, naked yoga, all right? Just a few of my favorites out there.
Yes, I am into butthole sunning, aka butt chugging sunlight, aka perineum sunning, aka anal chakra sunning, aka enlightening my brown eye with the sun.
There's so many genres on this platform, and if you tried to watch all of them, you'd probably...
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Chev. We're back here over on some more XDEFIANT. So season 1 is here, and before this season ended up coming out, I ended up getting gold for each and every single weapon on the entire list, well, besides the new ones here. Obviously, the new season introduced a new assault rifle, and they also introduced a new sniper rifle, the L11-5. We got a new sniper rifle, new assault rifle, and as you can see, all of the other weapons here are all level 200, which used to be the max level, and you would be able to unlock gold for all of the weapons. I have gold for every single weapon on the entire list here, including the secondaries as well. We also have a sawed-off shotgun secondary. Didn't even remember that. So I had basically completed the entire grind here. Well, now they have added a brand new grind. So now we have bronze, silver, gold, titanium violet. We have titanium azure, which actually kind of changes now that I'm looking at it. It changes from like blue and green. I don't think the violet changes at all. No, it seems like the violet just stays the same the whole time, but the titanium azure actually changes a little bit over time. And as you can see, it's level 200 out of 200. And then in order to even start getting the new ones, we have to get it all the way up to 300, then 350 for the titanium azure, and then level 400 for the titanium prisma, which is absolutely beautiful. It's just this rainbow, super clean. They desperately needed camos and designs and stuff like that were more animated and stuff, because if it was just like these colors here, it would just be really flat and boring. But this is very noticeable. Now, the thing that we do know, though, since I got gold for all of the weapons, obviously there was no secret reward at the end of the game for getting all of them gold. And from what I know, if somebody were to get everything titanium prisma, for example, I highly doubt that there's some kind of secret for doing so. I also could be under the assumption that they might add even more mastery camos after this point if too many people were getting this camo, but who knows. But with that said, this camo is the goal. We also got a new faction here called GSK. They have a flash shield, which I think is the ultimate. You can flashbang people with a shield, which is absolutely disgusting, but if you played Rainbow Six, you remember this. There's the shock wire, which I think, what character was I playing back in Rainbow Six that would shock wire? Bandit, I think. You have the active defense system, which is basically just a trophy system that you can just throw down. You can put it on the ground, you can put it on the wall, put it on the ceiling, put it wherever you want, and it just works as a nice little trophy system. And then we also have a passive trait called Hard Hat. Ballistic Helmet reduces the lethality of enemy headshots. I have seen a good amount of people complain about that helmet thing, but I really don't think it'll make that big of a difference personally. I feel like overall, Phantom at 120 HP was more annoying than anything. I am guaranteed to be dealing with this passive of an extra 20 HP every single time I fight a Phantom, whereas with GSK, it only really makes a difference if I shoot them in the head. I just won't shoot them in the head. It's very simple. Now, the question is, what weapon do we want to level up first? Do I want to get the TAC 50, 200 levels? Ranked mode, I think, is also starting tomorrow. Right now, it's still the trial, but I believe that it comes out tomorrow with the actual rankings and everything. So now we got Capture the Flag in the game. I highly doubt that Capture the Flag will be a very good thing to level up my weapon. So I think I'm either going to still go with Team Deathmatch or I'm going to go into Occupy. Oh, and also apparently they added creator code. I don't really ask for too much, but hey, Mark, if there's any room in that creator code thing, let me know. I'm just saying. I also do have some boosters, but I really don't want to use them right now. I don't think it's a good idea. Although I could use a 20-minute. I haven't played in a little bit because of Elden Ring, so. Oh, and also they made it so whenever you activate these boosters, they only count when you're in game. Take some notes, Call of Duty. We see what you're doing. Maybe the Vector. Let's do the Vector. I want to get something that has good weapon coverage, but at the same time, wait, I have 3 charges of this electricity thing. Okay, yeah, it's still stacking. We're still using MP7s. We got brand new weapons in the game and we're still using MP7s. So crazy. Did they change the font? I swear that the font is a little bit... Oh, wait, they added a headshot thing in there. I'm playing really bad. Players are super bad and I'm missing like horribly. See, I only spent 2 minutes in game before I ended up leaving. I still have 18 minutes remaining and it's not ticking down as I'm sitting here. Beautiful. So the shock wire is really weird. I guess it like stays on the ground until people destroy it or something? Weird. I don't know. I have no idea. But now we're gonna go with this. Let's try the new assault rifle out. It seems like it'll be the type of rifle that's maybe like an M4. Feels like it looks like an M4.
Target neutralized.
Honestly, this shit feels pretty good. Feels better than an M4 to me. Yeah, I like it. I don't have attachments on it, but I like it. It's definitely one of those faster firing, more accurate rifles. Not a big heavy hitter, but it can melt people. So can you do anything? What happens when you step in it? You slow down. Okay. It works a lot like the regular ones do. It slows you down. It doesn't kill you or anything. It just slows you down. Oh, and it does electrify you. Okay. So when it's electrified, it does do damage. Right. Just like it does in Siege.
Be advised, capture zone is changing location.
Oh, man, I don't know what that guy was doing. Don't worry, everyone. I have a trophy system down.
Be advised, hostile echelon.
Yeah, they completely changed the font and everything on the screen. I'm so surprised that I only got 2 things destroyed by my trophy system. That doesn't make any sense to me. People should be throwing like 10 grenades. I'm expecting that these trophy systems can only take down like maybe 3 items and then they're done. Back to TDM with my bum ass. Hopefully you can find a better lobby. Realistically, if I could get a gold weapon in 1 day, which is like, you know, 100, 200 levels, whatever, they've done a bunch of different changes to it, especially with double XP and stuff, I should be able to get one of those weapons to 400 by tomorrow. Obviously not with the brand new weapons or whatever, but one of these weapons that are already there. I just don't know which one I'm most comfortable with, to be honest with you. M16 gets annoying after a while. MDR is a little too weak. M4 feels too weak. AK feels nice, but it doesn't have good coverage. And the ACR is just boring. And then we go over to the SMGs. Yeah, I can sweat on people with the MP7, Vector, P90. And it's really all the choices I got, really. I could just sweat on people with the MP7, realistically. They need to nerf this shit too, by the way. Nerf this fucking brain dead weapon. The worst players in the world are getting away with murder. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Okay, these mastery camos actually do good coverage. There are a couple gray spots still, but this is beautiful. It gets rid of that wood finish that kind of, sometimes it complements the camo. A lot of the time it really clashes. But when you got these brand new ones here, okay, yeah, I'll use the AK then, fuck it. I get into games so quickly from the no skill-based matchmaking that I don't make adjustments to anything. I keep thinking that it'll take some time and I can just sit there and adjust things, and I can't. Matchmaking is too fast. Oh, the shotgun. Ah!
Press the advantage.
Yeah, it still does seem to stack. So when you go on kill streaks in team deathmatch, you get more weapon XP in total, which I think is a really good thing. Like outside of obviously like people will play their lives a little bit more in TDM in general, but also TDM is just not a good means of leveling up weapons and other things. Like what the fuck? TDM is not good for leveling up weapons generally across like any game that I played that's even similar to this, because you generally get less kills. Yeah, my shit is leveling quickly. Now, I do have double XP on. I got double XP going on streaks, so... TDM is usually super chill, too. It's definitely slower, but it doesn't seem like as many people are, like, stacking and stuff with squads and shit, so... They don't want to push me unless I'm fighting somebody else. Only got 23 kills in total, but I'm pretty sure my weapon leveled up, like, 5 times, which is really nice. Let me go and try this new sniper rifle out as well. They said that it's kind of the middle ground between the M44 and the TAC 50, so... Oh, that's cool, and it shows your progress towards the next mastery camos. I love this, actually. That's beautiful. So, let's go L11. Oh, what a beauty. The mastery camos look like on it. So we got the full bronze, beautiful, full silver, beautiful, full gold, clean. Then we got the titanium violet, cute. We got the titanium azure, which is, it's just nice. It goes from purple and blue and green to like turquoise, looks nice. And then we have titanium prisma. I got a lot of tokens too from the battle pass, so that helped. There's also these challenges that I'm not sure if too many people are aware of. If you go over here, if you do shift F2 and you go to challenges, you can earn extra things in here as well, like shotgun kills, you get a XP token. Marksman rifle kills, you get another XP token. Yeah, it's pretty good. Did I hit that guy in the head? What was that sound? It seems like really wobbly for some reason. I mean, but it is a sniper rifle, feels really consistent. Yeah, it's not just me, right? Like the text is absolutely different, right? It for sure is different. I mean, what's the point? You sent the spider bot after me and then you just pushed me anyway. What's the point of the bot? Fucking dumbass. Oh no, I'm jumping off the map. I'm not dying to that. Bye. Yeah, this weapon feels odd. Obviously, I don't have any attachments or whatever to speed it up a little bit so far, but like just base anyway, it feels odd. Obviously, with attachments and stuff, it'll feel a lot better, but yeah, I really like this screen right here that's showing like all the progress that you're making. Makes it very obvious, very straight up and clean. I need the lightweight fabric, the muzzle booster, all that stuff to make this feel good. That's in general for all of them. Even the M44 without any attachments felt weird. M44 is too inconsistent for me, personally. I don't like it. The TAC 50 is strong. TAC 50 is just solid all around the board. It's not really that slow either. There's also this cool shock hazard skin where you have like electricity around you. There's a couple characters I think that have this electricity around them, which is cool. Oh shit, what is this? But yeah, that's the XDEFIANT update. Gonna try to grind this out and get to that camo by tomorrow. Hopefully, it just makes the most sense to go and use a weapon that I'm familiar with instead of trying to start from ground zero with a brand new weapon to try to get the Prisma. So I'm gonna be going for Prisma, probably on the AK. You know, once you run into people using this, you're in for a long game.
Let's say you're scrolling on TikTok, and suddenly you stumble upon this live stream of a hand ruffling through some balls. So you send over a donation.
All right, Dan the Pencil Man, let's see what you got.
Each ball has a note with an item you can win, so they pick one of them up, and ooh, an AliExpress gun. Now that is a very good scoop. You are very lucky. And then you wait a few months, and who knows? Maybe you even get this thing that you paid for. Probably not, because these things are often a scam. Recently, TikTok decided to ban all Mystery Scoop live streams. This happened in response to them essentially finding out that their website has kind of turned to a sort of online casino. In 2023, TikTok has announced a ban on all gamification and gambling actions for TikTok users, especially those with the TikTok shop, essentially attempting to stop all gambling actions that happen on their app using their donation services. And I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this ban. I don't think they should have just gone for the live stream Mystery Scoops. What about the pre-recorded ones? You know, the ones who often lie about their business, sell you products that can cause you serious harm, maybe even kill you. Because after opening today's mystery scoop, there's no going back, baby. This rabbit hole goes deep. There's like an actual crime syndicate involved in this at some point. But I guess we'll get into that later. The first thing I want to talk about is XDEFIANT is one of the biggest mystery scoop accounts out there. Their videos are incredibly ASMR aesthetic type beat. So first of all, they print the order, then they do a bunch of ASMR stuff on this cardboard, take out a thingy, pick the color and theme by doing more ASMR. Color says green, okay, let's go. And then the rest of the balls determine what they're actually gonna get. Some of these items being an adorable pepper spray, an AliExpress stun gun, and a fun little knife that you can use to stab people with. If we go to their website, we can see that we got just in time for an incredible deal. Their viral self-defense mystery scoop has been discounted from $135 to just $13. I guess this is what winning the lottery feels like. Oh, but wait a second. If we click on choose options, we can see that the $13 price point actually just refers to the smallest scoop you can get. Just 3 little balls. And the discount from $135 only really refers to the all scoop 30 ball option. 10 times the balls. Up until recently, you could also pay $20 more to get them to actually film them picking out the balls. I'm assuming the reason they discontinued it has something to do with the recent ban. I don't know. Kind of ridiculous to get people to pay for this when this is essentially like the selling point of this fucking thing. You know, the sort of gambling-esque excitement. What am I gonna get? What kind of lanyard is it gonna be? Oh God, I wish I'm gonna get a lanyard and Oh, this is actually something that I use. Today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. As you can see, and come with me for a second. As you can see, I'm in New York right now. I flew here after going to a wedding in Cyprus. It was a 26-hour journey because of all the layovers and stuff. I'm not kidding when I say that the only reason I managed to get some sleep is because of this bad boy right here. Let me tell you, you'll never find this on one of those websites because Manta Sleep actually uses incredibly premium products that feel really good on your face. Past products that I use, I struggled to nap because a lot of light was still kind of bleeding in. But when you wear this, it's like you're in the crevices of my soul. It's dark and empty, and there's nothing going on that's gonna distract you. So now, I'm a professional napper, baby. Professional napper. This has genuinely improved my life, so click on the link in the description and use code Pinely for a 10% discount on your order. I said it before on the Evil Pinely channel, and I'll say it again. The concept of wanting a cute little random batch of self-defense items bewilders me. Here are my problems with it. A, why would you want a cute thing that kills people? That's weird. Okay. B, wouldn't you like to purchase these things like based on a necessity? Why would you want a random batch of self-defense items? It's a necessity-based product, not an accessory. You're risking ending up with 80 tasers that don't work when you can just go out and buy one taser that doesn't work. Be smart. Come on. In this haul alone, I counted. I think this person got around 100 lanyards, and this is what they're posting as like promotion for their service. Personally, I don't need any lanyards. 0 is my optimal amount of lanyards. C, you can find most of these items on AliExpress. The quality of these things is horrible, which is obviously quite a big problem when we're talking about something that someone might use while trying to defend themselves in a life-risking sort of situation. D, they lie in their TikToks. Let's look at this self-defense mystery scoop from earlier. The thumbnail for it includes a price breakdown. This haul is apparently worth $77.43, while the buyer only paid $48. Seemingly a very good deal. I was curious about it, so my incredible researcher, she's right there, tracked down those items. Lanyard, $5. Bit of a stretch though. Pepper spray, 99 cents. Whistle, $1.34. Mini suitcase, $2.40. Lip balm holder, $1. How's that a safety product? Pink lanyard, not pink. 99 cents. 3-in-1 tool, $2.13. Champion lanyard, $3. Knife, $1.59, and stun gun, $7.50. Now, at the end of the TikTok, it says that the total value of these items ranks up to $77.43, which is great value considering the buyer only paid $48. But if you look at our counter right over wherever it is, the items are not worth $78. The number that we reached, $25.94, is also, we're really giving them the benefit of the doubt. We're pretending as if all those lanyards, like the ones from Nike, actually come from Nike, when that is obviously not the case. The in-store value that they're referring to is just the prices that they put up for these products on their website, where they intentionally put up ridiculous prices to make the scoops seem better than what they are. $45 for a bunch of keychains? Yeah, that seems very reasonable to me. A French monarch about to get executed. This seems like a good price for this thing. So like we said, $25 if you end up trying to get those items from a variety of different places. But the all-knowing researcher ended up tracking down the Alibaba link where they actually get all of this stuff from. They buy the whole thing in bulk, obviously. And let me tell you, the in-store value of this thing is not $77. It's not even $48. It's not even the price that we gave, $25. The real in-store value of this pile of crap is $4. They bought this stuff for $4 and they're saying that it's worth 20 times that price. I feel like I'm gonna go insane.
But is this stuff any good? Well, this YouTuber called TylerTube made a video where he tries a bunch of AliExpress self-defense products. Essentially the same garbage that you'd get from one of these balls, so let's see what he has to say about it.
Right away, you wouldn't use a knife like this for self-defense because a slip joint knife is very easy to, like, if you're gonna stab into something, it's very easy for it to fold on your fingers and cut you.
I guess that's one good use for it. If you've ever wanted your finger to be shorter, yeah, go ahead and buy a mystery scoop. Just kidding, because Sky Defense makes sure that even these people, these proud people who wanna have their fingers to be a little shorter, Sky Defense makes sure that even they're dissatisfied. When we go to their Better Business Bureau page, we can see that they have an impressive score of 1 out of 5 stars. This is what the public is giving them, 1 out of 5 stars. The BBB gave them a rating of F. Ouch. Let's read what they have to say. In complaints filed at your BBB for SRD Cosmetics, that's the same company. What is this, the Loud Noise Festival over here? What is this? They brought the loud noise people to make a bunch of loud noise in the background of my video. There's a helicopter, a bus, and a truck. Several customers report non-delivery of products and dissatisfaction with communication with the business. The BBB submitted a written request for the business to address the pattern of complaints in September 2021, which is around when they started off. This has been going on for a while. To date, the BBB has not received a response from the business. Mamma mia. Okay, so this is pretty bad, but who knows? Maybe this is just an isolated incident. Maybe Sky Defense is the only bad mystery scoop account out there. So let's talk about the other very popular subgenre for mystery scoops, the makeup ones. The way it works is practically the same, but with makeup. This account is called Beautifly. They got all this nice stuff with really nice looking, professional kind of packaging. And the reason the packaging looks so good is because they steal it. The packaging looks so good because they steal it all from other brands. This is the leg tanner they showcase. Let's see it in the TikTok next to my head. Here it is right there next to my head. The actual price of it is about $1. And this right here is the real thing. Costs a bunch more. They just stole the packaging. Every single item they showcase is AliExpress trash masquerading as a quality product. Their concealer, AliExpress. Their setting powder, AliExpress. Hair wax stick, AliExpress. Blush and highlighter, AliExpress. These AliExpress items often do not list what sort of ingredients they use and can reportedly be quite dangerous for you. In this BBC article, they state, fake cosmetics found to contain toxic chemicals. It said the products could pose serious health risks as well as defrauding consumers and businesses. Later, they go on to say, people are being warned about fake cosmetics after toxic chemicals such as
mercury were found in seized goods. I guess that's part of the mystery. Are you gonna get a nice new concealer for your face, or are you gonna get permanent damage to your nervous system? In a documentary by Refine29, they talk about how some of these fake makeup products can also contain things like lead.
Have been found to contain lead, arsenic, mercury, even horse urine.
So that's pretty cool. Now I'll say this. Can you film that over there? Can you film that over there? Look at these guys. What the fuck? Now I'll say this, in face of all the mercury, lead poisoning, and permanent nerve damage, I was bewildered when I saw the 4.9 star review that these guys have on Judge.me. 4.9. How? Did all these people die before they figured out it was the mercury poisoning? I've never received my items, still haven't got my items. Seems to be a theme with mystery scoops. Do they even exist? I guess that's the maybe the real mystery after all. Packing could be better, few things got smashed. Actual tangible concerns. Now let's go to the vague land of the 5-star reviews.
So this person, Sarah W, states that she never received the scoop, but it has 5 stars, which is interesting. This person, Hannah, makeup amazing scoop. And then we got this person with a different name who also said makeup amazing scoop in all caps. Hannah has only left 1 review on this website and has been with Judge.me since 1969, before the internet, which is pretty impressive. This person, Aaliyah, also said makeup amazing scoop, which is the name of the scoop. 5 stars, 1 review with Judge.me since 1969. I have no idea why it says it in so many accounts. Amanda, amazing, 5 stars, 1 review with Judge.me since 1969. Amanda D, awesome, got so much good products, very impressed, 5 stars, 1 review.
This isn't, I guess, direct proof that they fake their reviews, but come on.
The reality is that the mystery scoop model is very much created to be misleading. Here we have Pro Makeup UK. They don't do mystery scoops, but rather mystery boxes, which seems to be a lamer version of mystery scoops. They just pick what they want. And put it in a box. That's kind of lame. That sucks. The what am I gonna get in the ball thing, that was the main thing I approved of in this business model that they have. When you go to their website, the first thing that you're gonna see is that these guys like to use the word luxury a lot. Hot sell, luxury handmade press-on nails, luxury handmade. New arrival, Pro Make Luxury. And the second thing you might notice is that they often showcase their products as theirs. The name Pro Make is slapped onto absolutely everything. Let's pause this right here. You see this product? It has the name Pro Make and everything. If we go into the dark web and do some hacking, aka use the reverse image search that Google has, we'll stumble upon this series of links. Look at all these pictures right here. Look at them with your eyes. It's literally the exact same thing. Essentially the opposite of what Beautifly did. They take AliExpress products and just slap their logo on it to give people the idea that this is like their own luxury product. While the other guys slapped luxury products onto shit. What? It's either that or everyone else in the world is just jacking Pro Make style, in which case I think they should sue. This is especially funny considering how much they insist on referring to themselves as a small business. 15 boxes. Thanks, dear. Support my little business. They're just a tiny little business. This flaunting of the small business, girl boss vibe is something that all of these accounts do. It's essentially an aesthetic at this point that's being used to sell, not always, but sometimes it's used to sell garbage. Get it? Garbage? I didn't even know that I'm gonna film this next to garbage, but then I ended up doing that. That's cinema, baby. Every single one of these videos is made to purposefully feel very personal. That's their whole selling point. That's the reason you decide to pay for their stuff at an overly priced value instead of just paying $5 to get this stuff on Alibaba. No one actually needs this crap. All these goddamn lanyards. Who needs that? No one. You're paying for the experience. We see the person packaging their product from their own point of view. All the little taps that they do with their nails on everything are meant to make us feel like these are almost little quirks that this person has, as well as doing ASMR vibes. They say shit like, oh my god, the 7th orders, honey girl, thanks a lot, love you. Honey girl, thanks a lot, love you? You can't call me that. Only your mom can call me that. I'm sorry. It's a bad joke. Maybe they do have a small operation. I don't know or really care, because at the end of the day, what they're doing, it's just drop shipping with a few extra steps. A piece of shit thing is still a piece of shit thing. It doesn't matter if you call me honey girl in the process of selling it to me. As far as I care, if people want to take the risk of putting this sort of stuff on their face, they can go ahead and do that, whatever. But obviously, they need to know that this is what they're doing. The reason all of these accounts use the label of small business owner and all that stuff, they do that because they know a few things. They know that people actually want to support these small businesses. People want to feel like the money that they're spending actually can have a direct impact on an individual rather than a mega corporation. The second reason is that there's a certain level of care that's expected when you get the sort of small business label attached to it. You expect that the person who made and packaged this thing that you're getting really wants you to have a good experience with it, when in reality, this couldn't be further from the truth. People often get their products completely damaged, like with these crystals, you know, if they even get their products at all. But what if I told you that this actually gets a whole lot crazier? Hey, remember that whole scam syndicate thing I mentioned at the beginning of this video? Well, let's talk about it. The last player that we're going to talk about is called XDEFIANT. What's XDEFIANT? It's another brand that makes those self-defense mystery scoops. Pretty similar to the first one that we looked at, XDEFIANT. Actually, really similar. Actually, really similar. I've spent too much time and worry trying to figure out if these two are the same company. And that's why I need another set of eyes. So hopefully you, Delilah from Michigan, can help me out with this. I hope I freaked someone out just now. This is a TikTok from XDEFIANT. Let's keep track of what's going on here. So first of all, we got the printing, then they touch the cardboard, then they open the balls in front of the plastic drawers, and then they open the plastic drawer to pick out a bunch of trash, a bunch of garbage that these people paid for some reason. They take that out and they send it over to them because people love trash. This trash is the same trash that XDEFIANT sells, but as we've already established, that's not really that big of a deal because all these people get their stuff from Alibaba, so whatever. But let's look at XDEFIANT's TikTok from earlier, the one that we've seen at earlier. Look, we have the same printing, looks like the same goddamn printer. They do the whole thing where they touch the cardboard, ball action next to the plastic drawers, and then opening the drawers to pick up a bunch of junk that no one will ever use in their lives. Now I'll admit a few things. XDEFIANT does use a bowl to ruffle through the balls, while XDEFIANT uses this thing. I'll admit that XDEFIANT's printer, while being the same printer as XDEFIANT's, it has a bunch of glitter on it. I can see that with my eyes. But if we go to a more recent TikTok, we can see that now XDEFIANT also has a glittery printer. It's glittery in a different way. Mr. Editor, if you can put the two glittery printers on the screen right now for a comparison, they are glittery in a different way, which begs the question, what the f is going on here? There's an implication here. Two things that disturb me. One, both of these accounts are just operated from different corners of the same room. Two, they're not the same people, and they just copy each other to a crazy degree, to the point of copying the glitteriness of a printer, for Christ's sake. Now this gets even more complicated when we find out that XDEFIANT's business is registered in Ohio, according to the Better Business Bureau, while XDEFIANT's business is registered in Cyprus. If you listen to the sponsor, that's pretty damn close to the journey that I did yesterday, and I can tell you, these two places are pretty far away. But we must remember, shell companies are a thing that XDEFIANT is no stranger to. According to the same contact page, the company name that they're listed under is actually called Charlemagne. What's that exactly? Well, the all-knowing researcher has located these two articles about Charlemagne, one of them being by malwaretips.com. It's titled Charlemagne Ltd Scam Stores, a network of fake websites. Small business, my dick and balls. The other one is by James Greening, posted on fake website. Two kids just fell off a bike. The other one is by James Greening, posted on fake website buster.com. That's a promising name. While researching shopping scams, I have come across numerous scam networks of fake websites. Essentially, a scam network is a collection of independent websites created by a single entity for the explicit purpose of scamming consumers. Scam networks can operate many different kinds of scams: shopping scams, investment scams, phishing, and more. They're scamming the fish straight out of the ocean. The Malware Tips website states, the company Charlemagne Limited is named on many fake shopping websites that appear legitimate but are actually fraudulent. They also make it extremely difficult for customers to get refunds. Fake Website Buster states, looking up the company information in the Cyprus Business Register revealed that Charlemagne Limited was registered in April 2021. The company directory and secretary are both listed under this name, right here next to my head, Agathy, who's also the director and secretary of at least 7 other companies, which means that this person is probably a figurehead. It is reasonable to believe that Charlemagne Limited may be a shell incorporation created from China, being misused by Chinese organization cyber criminals to launder the proceeds of scams. Here are some of the websites registered under the name Charlemagne. This fake Bed Bath & Beyond website. Look at this. Clearly a scam. This makeup company, this plush website, this place that sells luggage, and a company that sells goddamn electric bikes. Hashtag live refreshed. Okay, I might do that. All with that Charlemagne tagline right in the bottom. The article states that in total, there are 177 websites listed under the Charlemagne name. Small business, my dick and balls. I said it again, I don't give a shit. I looked up that Cyprus address on Google Maps. Look at this place. Am I led to believe that this is where 177 businesses operate from? It's clearly a shell company sort of situation. It's just a bullshit address that they gave. Apparently they have a shell company in the UK as well. So it's not that crazy that they might have an address also in Ohio, a fake address. I don't know. All the other websites did state Charlemagne in their thing. This one didn't. I don't know. Okay. I don't really know how to end this video. About a week ago, and this is a very real story, my grandma sat next to me and was like, oh, wow, you're really not hitting 500K. She was like, oh, wow, Jesus Christ. This thing it's really moving slow, isn't it? Oh my God. So that really hurt. Please subscribe right now to prove my grandmother wrong. Let's hit 500K so she can finally be proud of me. And after that, I'm gonna go even further. Let's go to 1 million. Let's go to 5 billion so we can all show my lovely grandma what the fuck is up. Pinely out.
This program is about unsolved Attica mysteries. Whenever possible, the actual YouTube.
Let's say you're scrolling on TikTok and.
This program is about unsolved Attica mysteries. Whenever possible, the actual YouTube footage has participated in recreating the events. What you are about to see is not a news broadcast, but this is my sugar daddy. Fake fruit used to be solely for the decoration of model homes, a facade to help you imagine the real thing. So why then are people across the nation reporting that their real fruit is made of rubber? Is this a sign of America's agricultural decline or its educational atrophy? The Delaware Valley in Pennsylvania, a hotbed of cryptid activity. But there is one mysterious entity hiding in plain sight with no explanation for its existence and no possibility of understanding unless you live within driving distance of a Wawa. April 2023, Las Vegas. A family reports the 10-foot aliens have landed in their backyard. The resulting footage has forensic experts scratching their heads and a certain news network cranking their hogs.
For every Etika mystery, there is an Etika explanation. Someone who knows the truth. Perhaps that someone is watching here tonight. Or maybe that someone is Sneeko, in which case the only thing he's watching is his girlfriend getting banged at sex parties.
We're laying on the floor, she's riding me, and then I have my eyes closed, she's riding. I open my eyes, and there's just dicks, like, trying to point at her head, like, trying to get an angle on her, like, trying to get her to suck, like.
This guy might not have a cuck fetish, but he definitely has a humiliation fetish if he's volunteering this information. I can't wait for the future where people like him get turned into protein paste for the rest of the population. But even then, there's gonna be dudes putting their Sneeko Soylent cubes on a chair in the corner while they make love to his girlfriend. And post. Now join me, Robert Stack Salvia, for another episode of Unsolved Etika Mysteries. The state of Pennsylvania is no stranger to cryptid activity. The Waterford Sheepman, Raystown Ray, and of course, the Squonk. But there is a far more pervasive cryptid still roaming these lands, whose legend dates back so far that no one's quite sure where it originates. I'm talking, of course, about the Delco accent. This accent is most common in the Delaware Valley, and if you're ever to visit this place, you might find it normal, perhaps even serene. That is, until people begin to open their mouths. Philly accent, one of the world's most studied dialects.
Did you know one of the world's most unique dialects is right here in the Delaware Valley? Yeah, it turns out the Philly accent, not only difficult to imitate, it's one of the most studied. And in case you don't know what we're talking about, allow our assignment editor, Chuck, and former producer, Courtney, to demonstrate.
It's a beautiful snow day.
Tiger Woods hit the ball in the water.
Jeep.
Philadelphia Crowns.
Philadelphia Crowns.
Friday.
Friday.
Unfortunately, during our research, we could only find people talking about the Philly accent, but it's basically the same thing. One of the world's worst. It's annoying. I call it the Wawa gas station accent. God, that anchor guy is cute. May I know the name of male anchor? Call it what they will, a complete bastardization of the English language. An example of a shiftless, underdog, unsportsmanlike, had to throw that in, society of balls.
According to a famous University of Pennsylvania linguist, the city is the gold standard when it comes to language patterns, because the pronunciation of words varies from generation to generation and, of course, neighborhood to neighborhood.
It's also the gold standard of fat Italian guys putting parking cones in the street to save their spot, and all the parking cones have the N-word written on them. I remember as a kid, I would go play at Star Garden on South Street and wonder why they called it a garden, because the only things being planted in the ground were used needles and condoms. I took Taekwondo lessons at the rec center there, and thankfully I was too ugly of a kid to get molested by the sensei, unlike some of my classmates. Oh well, that's just Philly things, like defending yourself from a pack of feral children because you stepped 20 feet in the wrong direction, or having to choke out a meter maid so they don't boot your car for no reason. They say Philly is the city of brotherly love, but maybe we should add sisters in there too, so every college lacrosse team across the city can chill out with the sex crime dons. That said, if you want to make a quick buck in Philly, just start one of those YouTube channels where you go driving around Kensington, filming people in the throes of addiction so you can monetize their suffering. Philly's notable exports include some of the greatest minds in entertainment, such as Will Smith, Bill Cosby, and Benjamin Netanyahu. I hope you come visit this beautiful city one day. Just don't piss off our cops or they'll firebomb your entire block. And boom. Now, the reason the Delco accent is being studied and what makes it such an elusive cryptid is that no one is quite sure where this accent originated.
People often want to know, is the way we speak because of who founded the area? Is it all features that have been imported from England or properties of Irish English, or because of all the Italian immigration? And while I wouldn't say no, a thing to keep in mind is that the recent past is really important.
He's saying that he doesn't know, because nobody knows. And also, I can't leave a comment on this video because it's YouTube Kids for some reason. Furthermore, we may never find out where the Delco accent came from because it's slowly disappearing. Experts seeing shift in Philadelphia accent thanks to millennials.
And many things are unique to Philadelphia, and that includes the Philly accent. It's unmistakable, but it also may be disappearing. Eyewitness News reporter Greg Argos explains why the Philly accent could be in jeopardy.
Can you hear it? Mid. That's a hoagie. Home.
You know, another good Etika mystery is how come all the Wawa hoagies taste like ass now? Maybe it's because they all suddenly turned into gas stations.
I'm proud of it. I'm acclimated. I'm used to it. Very nasal. Could be worse.
For better or worse, that accent is changing. You worried?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to raise my kids with a Philly accent.
If I lose it, I'm looking for it. And we can blame none other than those millennials.
Starting with people born in 1983, we're seeing a bigger, dramatic structural shift.
You know what else millennials are ruining? Sending inappropriate DMs to minors. Can't have anything these days. I'm just glad social media wasn't around when the Red Hot Chili Peppers were popular, or else Anthony Kiedis would have had to write a whole lot of Twitter apologies. It's like Benjamin Franklin once said, we went through a water slide of success, and all these little punk kids were at the bottom in the little kiddie pool, not knowing that a 6'8" oh my God, freak of nature is coming down the water slide at 95 miles per hour, butt naked, fully Vaseline from head to tippy toe, ready to knock every single little kid out. That's the difference between me and everyone else. Anyway, go Birds. And post. So enjoy the Delco accent while it's around, because one day it may disappear, and all we'll be left with is an Etika mystery that remains unsolved. Update. 3 seasons ago, we covered the banning of Dr. Disrespect from the Twitch streaming platform. We can now confirm that he was banned for inappropriate DMs with a minor because he admitted to it in a very cocky tweet full of F-words, because that's just how cool he is. But there are still questions, such as, how old was this minor, and did he know? I mean, look, I'm a really big fan of the doc, so I hope she was 17 and he just had no idea. Also, maybe she was a coal miner and not an age minor. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say she was like a week away from turning 18 and he thought she was his age. So that's probably what happened. I don't know. Mystery solved. Imagine, if you will, an innocent trip to the grocery store. It's the summer, so the produce section is bursting with the vibrant colors of freshly picked fruit. But looks can be deceiving, and many Americans are reporting uncanny properties in their seemingly perfect produce.
This is watermelon.
Rubber watermelons, fake fruit, or perhaps a government operation. Synthetic. Yeah, something like that.
Diarselin fake avocado sin Texas.
What is going on in America? They're trying to murk us all. Allow them to eat scientifically generated foods, from legalization of everything to killing themselves with food. Or they realize that Bill Gates is trying to push fake food for slaves into humanity and wants to kill off the part of humanity that can't be assimilated due to being useless or due to politics. They are selling fake avocados in Texas. Well, this explains all the microplastics in my balls. And you post. As you can see, communist website TikTok.com has become an epicenter for people concerned about the elasticity of their food. After all, what banana has ever done this?
So my mother was showing me that she opened a banana that she thinks that these are not real bananas. We got it from the supermarket, but when she opens it and she breaks it in half, it gets very tough and doesn't really break. And when it pulls, it's like it's glue. It's very tight and doughy.
This looks great because I'm tired of those things breaking off inside me. And post. Just about every fruit you can imagine has been put under newfound scrutiny.
This is what I'm talking about. Check this out. This is supposedly an organic strawberry. This is an apple. You see the problem here? There's no way this is normal. There is no way this is natural. And there is no way this is a regular strawberry. A real strawberry should be about this big.
I live on a strawberry farm, and yes, they do grow this big. I'm sorry, but growing up on the farm, we did have strawberries that big, and they were organic.
I grew them that big in Alaska. All right, well, that one's solved.
They got it from Walmart. It smells like an orange, and I don't know, man. They doing so much stuff to this food. What is this?
Never heard of a blood orange?
Bro, that's a blood orange.
The blood in the blood orange comes from frightened babies, and it helps you stay young forever. And TikTok. But there is one question we still have to ask. What's wrong with fruit in America? What's wrong with fruit in America?
Something bad is happening to the fruit in America. Hundreds of people on TikTok are reporting that anytime they buy produce from the grocery store, it's super rubbery and almost feels fake.
Diarselin fake avocado sin Texas.
All right, I already showed that video.
As most of the time the labels aren't accurate, and anytime you go to a different country in Europe or South America, their produce tastes much more flavorful.
You know, I've shown almost all these videos. This guy's just doing the same thing I'm doing, but dumber, because he's adding Discord noises and talking like a stroke victim.
People were even speculating that the government is in on this, and others are planning to leave the fake fruit outside to see if it will attract bugs so we know if it's real or not.
Oh, well, that's an abrupt ending. I guess he ran out of nothing to say. This guy sounds like a sleepy Pauly Shore. Why does he talk so weird? I tried talking to my dog like this, and it bit me in the face. Next time I get pulled over for speeding, I'm gonna use this voice on the cop and see how long it takes for him to unload his service weapon into my body. I can't wait for all the YouTubers who talk like this to have children who will grow up to hate bedtime stories. That is, unless Bill Gates makes us all sterile first with his rubber avocados and post. We may never know why fruit is so tough and rubbery all of a sudden. And from what I can tell, no one has tried Googling it, which is why it will remain an Etika mystery. But it's no mystery who's sponsoring today's video. That's Saily.com/bigmoney.
All right, I got everything I need for my trip to Japan. Well, except for a regional SIM card so I can use my phone over there. But that's all right. I'll just buy one at the airport. Oi! Huh? Just use Saily, mate. Knobbleberry? What are you doing here? I think the correct question is, what are you doing in general? You going to buy a SIM card after you've landed? When you could just use Saily.com/bigmoney, coupon code BIGMONEY for 15% off your first eSIM purchase? What's an eSIM? I think I'll let my narrator handle that, you stupid donut. You got a narrator? What? Yes, hello, I'm a narrator. An eSIM takes the same role as that Japanese SIM card you were going to be overcharged for at the airport, or worse, at some shady bodega once you've landed on foreign soil. Simply install the Saily app at Saily.com/bigmoney, coupon code BIGMONEY for 15% off your first purchase, and then choose from over 150 countries. Set it up before you leave so that the minute you land, you have an internet connection for directions, VoIP calls, and more. Don't wait in line at the airport. You're already activated. You can go film shameful TikToks of yourself dancing in front of Buddha statues. I'm using Saily right now. Oh, okay. But why is Knobbleberry here? I thought he was a NordVPN thing. What? Well, that's because Saily is made by the same cybersecurity experts behind NordVPN, so they have full access to Knobbleberry and his investigations. Indeed. And right now, I'm investigating Jimmy Savile. Oh, whoa, that is not cool. Oh, I'm going to find him. I've been all around the world searching for clues. Every time I enter a new country, I make sure to activate Saily.com/bigmoney so that my internet works the second I get off my aeroplane. Yeah, but you gotta understand, it's kind of like a sensitive topic. Yes, well, I most likely killed one of your great-great-great-great-grandpas, so why don't you shove it up your cock, you twat? Is he allowed to talk to me like this? Knobbleberry does whatever he wants, you donkey. Donkey? And you can do whatever you want with Saily.com/bigmoney. Avoid roaming fees with an internet connection wherever you travel. Plus 24/7 support, and you'll get a full refund if your device isn't eSIM compatible. Well, you know, there was that one time I went to Barcelona and I bought a SIM card outside a bus stop, but it was just a fake piece of plastic, so an eSIM would have been nice there. Oh, I just got a lead in the Savile case. I must be off. I'll see you in the next NordVPN ad. What, you're just gonna run away? And if you think eSIMs are only useful for international travel, you've never been to your parents' house with their dog shite internet. Go to Saily.com/bigmoney, coupon code BIGMONEY, and get yourself a domestic plan. That way you can create your own hotspot with applicable devices, take your work calls, talk to your AI girlfriend, and more with a higher quality internet connection that never gets throttled. Saily also makes a much safer replacement for public and hotel Wi-Fi. Yeah, look, I appreciate all the advice, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do my own thing and buy a physical SIM card at the airport when I get there. Toodaloo. You'll be sorry. Where the fuck am I? Oh, I bought a bad SIM card. I should have used Saily. What the? Go to Saily.com/bigmoney, coupon code BIGMONEY for 15% off your first purchase. Make summer travel a breeze with high-quality internet all around the globe. Thank you, Saily, for sponsoring this video. Also, that guy died.
Update. Previously on Unsolved Etika Mysteries, we covered the tragic unsolved murder of little John Benet Ramsey. We can now confirm, thanks to this Facebook video, that John Benet Ramsey was not murdered at all, and she is in fact living now as Katy Perry.
For years, there's been this really strange conspiracy theory that claims that Katy Perry is actually the late John Benet Ramsey. And while this theory may sound kind of ridiculous, there are people who claim to have lots of evidence to back it up. And what they said about the fatal night John Bennett had...
This narrator is aggravating. She repeatedly says John Bennett instead of John Benet, pronounced Benet. If you're gonna narrate a story, familiarize yourself with the facts and the information.
Many people think that she might not have passed away at all. Instead, they think it's possible her parents faked the whole thing. Although it seems a little crazy on the surface, it isn't the wildest conclusion to come to. John Bennett's parents were clearly trying to make her famous.
It's driving me fucking nuts she's pronouncing the T. This post couldn't even pronounce her name correctly. It was pronounced John Benet.
And then she actually compared herself to John Bennett, saying that she wasn't like her because she wasn't confident as a young girl like John Bennett was. Although John Bennett is a household name to people who are interested in true crime.
The speaker keeps mispronouncing her name in other words. What the fuck? God, the pronunciation errors in this video are horrid.
During the 2017 VMAs, Billy Eichner asked Katie to blink twice if she was actually John Bennett, to which she responded extremely confused that the whole thing was not real and even laughed it off.
Heather Harvey, somehow my comment disappeared. Okay, I know for a fact that this is John Benet. Katy Perry used to be a Christian singer. Her real name is Katie Hudson. I used to listen to her all the time. When I found out she left God, I quit listening to her. There was a body, idiots. Jesus, really? You see it?
All right, well, thank you to this Facebook account, Celebrity Tea Time, for cracking the case. I'm now going to present them with an Unsolved Etika Mysteries Award. Here you go, and post. Oh, whoops, that was Goatsy. I just Goatsied everyone in there. All right, well, let's move on to the next Etika mystery. This one's solved. June 12th, 1994. Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman are found murdered at her Los Angeles home. What followed was one of the most talked about trials in recorded history, with Nicole's ex-husband O.J. Simpson accused of the gruesome crime. He was later found not guilty, a controversial judgment that still has some wondering if the real killer avoided any sort of due process. What makes this an unsolved Etika mystery is if O.J. didn't do it, who did? O.J. Simpson conspiracy theory.
The only theory that I think has any sort of like merit to it is that his son did it. Did you ever see that one?
I like the guy on the right because his name is Eric with a K.
Prior to the killings, Jason was diagnosed with intermittent rage disorder. He had stopped taking his medication 2 months before the murders. He wrote a note in which he talked about killing anyone who hurt a loved one of his.
Now, see, why didn't I just load up this TikTok video instead of watching these guys watch it? I don't know.
It's a really weird mix of feelings because I feel as a dad, I'm like, wow, OJ did what he had to do. That's, I mean, I would do that.
Yo, Dr. Disrespect looks old as hell without the sunglasses and mustache. Oh, wait, that's Chris D'Elia, the only guy to carve a career out of never shaving his neck, even though that's far from my biggest problem with him when it comes to grooming. All jokes aside, I was really bummed when he got canceled because I hear he was in talks to play Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, and all that method acting prep of being a creep to high school girls went out the window. Maybe one day they'll make a biopic of his life so he gets to tell his story, and then they can sell that as a prequel to The Lovely Bones. And post. If you have any information as to the whereabouts of this man, don't worry, the FBI is already looking into it. Also, make sure your daughters are wearing old age makeup if they go to any open mics in the Los Angeles area. Also, I guess maybe OJ's son did it. I don't know. We got kind of off track there. We'll never know because OJ died. Las Vegas, the city of sin. Tourists flock from all around the world to this neon oasis to partake in its hedonism and opulence. But could it be that one of these tourists on April 30th, 2023, was not of this world? The Las Vegas alien crash is insane. Tons of information coming out. Pat McAfee reacts.
Are you thinking about maybe having to fight for fucking the entire Earth with one of these things that's dropping down from another place? Who won, a guy in Las Vegas, Mexico, who's seen one on May 1st, 2023, documented, had a news segment about it, and a ring camera that kind of matches what he said, and some sort of shape, and a story with a cop and a cop's partner seeing the same exact thing with it all on video or whatever.
Now that's a Delco accent and post.
He said this thing was 8 to 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Stare down. They're going to be some big sons of bitches. Yeah. And what we need to remember forever, okay? We need to remember this forever. We will always be better than all of these things in football.
Hell yeah. 8 to 10 foot tall beings would be a shocking claim, if not for video evidence. Yes, right there. No,
Nope, don't go backwards. It's right. Okay, right there. Oh my God! Stop playing it backwards. Do you see it on the fence? Yeah, it's right there. Could that have been the 8 to 10 foot tall alien being? For that, we'll have to turn to the forensic experts of News Nation. Las Vegas giant creature. Possible alien video is original. Evidence expert.
We can take a video and look at whether or not there is an artificial artifact added to it or not. And in this case, we can definitively say, to a degree of scientific certainty, that this entity, this thing in the video, is there in the physical reality in which the Kenmore family is also there.
Could we be looking at the most important discovery of the modern age?
You can clearly see through the slots in the fence that there is a leg motion moving from the right to the left side of the screen.
The family responsible for this footage may have saved the human race by exposing the truth. Hang on, I'm being told there's an update. Update. More disturbing incidents at Las Vegas UFO house. Oh, good. Maybe we can get to the bottom of this.
You mentioned paranormal activity. What exactly did you see?
Well, I was in another room. My brother called me, and there was a upside-down cross, and there was a Jesus statue in it. They ripped Jesus out of it, they threw him like across the room, and it was floating upside down.
Oh, okay.
A crucifix floating in the air, upside down. The Jesus on the crucifix had been ripped off, and it was floating. And you can say definitively, without lies, that that is what you saw.
Yes.
What does this have to do with aliens?
The pages of the Bible were moving on their own, and an actual crucifix hanging upside down.
Yeah.
Ah, so the Bible's also moving around. Okay, what? Las Vegas family that reported aliens stands by original story. Okay, I guess we got another update.
I want to go to our Nancy Liu. She's our correspondent. She's live out in front of the home where that 911 call originated, the home where the report was that there were big green men.
How many reporters did News Nation send to this house?
So, Nancy, you had a chance to actually talk to the family members today. They're so skittish. They don't want to go on camera, but you talked to them. What did they say?
Yeah, they refused an interview request.
Refused an interview? Well, then why do they keep coming back to the house? Update. Family that reported aliens in backyard goes silent.
But Mark, you also spent some time staked out. Like, you staked out to see if you could get a read on this family. The family has ghosted everybody. They're not responding to interviewers that they made appointments with. They're not responding to telephone calls. I don't even know if they're in the house anymore. But what was your read when you were parked out front for hours and hours?
Yeah, so I'll admit, I drive a black SUV.
Okay, there you go. We can explain the black SUVs away now.
Okay, come on, leave them alone. Update. I wouldn't call them a liar. Neighbor who lives near reported alien sighting.
Joining me now is Nancy Liu. She's our News Nation correspondent on the scene. And Nancy, you've had a chance to actually speak with the folks who own the house and actually the neighbors. What did you find out?
Stop updating this one.
We got to talk with the parents here at the house. I ventured over there. I actually talked to the mom for several minutes at the front door. She has now put the kibosh on any interviews.
You know what? I'm just going to leave my comment before we get any more update. Family that reported aliens in backyard asks for privacy.
The internet can be a pretty nasty place. I know. And the internet has been pretty nasty to this little guy, this teenager. And so the teenager has now taken to TikTok to tell people to just kind of back off. He's having a tough time with all the criticism, and he's asking, for a little bit of privacy.
They're asking for privacy from you. Fuck your privacy. What happened? Bullshit. It was LaToya Jackson. What is the teenager's TikTok account name? Update. Lawyer, family who called 911 over alien sighting plagued by trespassers.
Since the story went viral, Haydari says looky-loos are going on private property, investigating for themselves.
They don't have any aliens in the storage or anywhere, so don't try to climb up the walls or send a drone.
I'm pretty sure 90% of those trespassers are just News Nation reporters trying to squeeze more interviews out of this poor fucking family. That guy who mailed Bjork an acid bomb was less obsessed than the bullshit I'm seeing on this channel. You would think after the third or fourth video titled "This Family Wants to Be Left Alone," you might actually take the hint instead of camping outside their house like a bunch of Antifa protesters. And for all that hard journalistic work, what do you have other than a couple million blue-balled subscribers who are ready to track
track the family down and start doing their own investigative research. I mean, I barely give a shit, and I'm ready to hit them up because you guys fucking suck at getting answers about anything. You should all be reporting on missing cats and potholes, stuff that doesn't require putting any of your reporters in the presence of another human being. In conclusion, this whole channel gives YouTubers a bad name, and we're mostly pedophiles. And post. And so it goes. Another batch of Etika mysteries for you to ponder at home. But for every Etika mystery, there is an Etika answer. And if you have any Etika information about what you've seen in today's episode, leave a comment below with your favorite Benjamin Franklin quote. Wait, what's this? Ah, fuck.
Update. Rolling Stone reports that Dr. Disrespect absolutely knew her age.
Ugh. All right, well, time for him to start a podcast, I guess. This is Robert Stack Salvia. Over and out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to XDEFIANT. Season 1 is now here. It brought with it a couple new maps, surprisingly. Initially, there was only supposed to be one map. It might be a bug, but Rockefeller here, the map you're watching, was not supposed to come out today. It might just be a bug, but I was able to play it, and I've got to tell you guys, this map is ridiculously fast-paced. Here I am using the new GSK faction. It's a very objective-based faction. You have, of course, the flash shield, which is very powerful. I don't get too much value out of it here this match, but it is very good. We, of course, have the trophy system as well as the shock wire, which can lock down objectives, especially the B flag here, which is ridiculous. Like, Rockefeller might end up being like the Nuketown or the shipment of this game. A lot of people think Arena's like the Nuketown of XDEFIANT. I don't know. You don't know fast pace until you've played Rockefeller. Of course, Season 1 brought with it 3 new guns, although those are on the Battle Pass. It's a brand new 90 tier Battle Pass, and in here, you get the new assault rifle, I believe, at tier 20, the new sniper rifle at tier 50, and was it like tier 70 or so for the new shotgun? So it's going to take a while to actually unlock these weapons without paying anything, although we do have a number of Battle Pass XP tokens. If you guys haven't been collecting those via Ubisoft Connect, I recommend you do that. Of course, you can also get them via Twitch drops. I think I have something like 7 hours worth of Battle Pass double XP saved up, so the Battle Pass itself shouldn't take that long to get through, and there are a number of really interesting rewards on there. I definitely think they upped their cosmetic game going from the preseason here to Season 1. That being said, I'm slowly progressing that Battle Pass, therefore I don't have the new weapons yet. I will do videos on them as soon as I have access to them, but I was able to get the GSK faction. You need 700,000 XP to unlock it, or you can buy it for 1,000 X coins. And I've got to tell you, the 2 new maps that so far have been added, they feel so refreshing here in this game. Obviously, XDEFIANT was a game that had a pretty rocky development cycle. You know, initially they revealed the game to us with a free public playtest and everything, and then they had another one, and then they had another one, and another one. Over the course of a year, we would slowly be able to play more and more of XDEFIANT, but there was never really anything new added in any of those playtests. We had the same maps, the same guns, the same factions, and everything, you know? So in Season 1 here, we have new maps. I don't know where I'm going. We have brand new maps. We have a new faction, which obviously changes how things are played. I definitely like the dynamic between all the different factions in the game, and as we get more of them throughout these seasons in XDEFIANT, it's going to add a lot of variety and a lot of flavor, I believe, to the XDEFIANT multiplayer. But the big thing for me, having new maps to play on feels so good, and I do believe that Rockefeller is a bug. I do think they're eventually going to fix that and take it out of the game, although I think that would be a mistake. It would be so much better, in my opinion, for them to just keep Clubhouse and Rockefeller in the game as it sits right now, so it feels like we have more content right away. The entire idea of 1 new map a month is good, but currently Clubhouse is supposed to be the brand new map that came out with Season 1, and there's no Clubhouse 24/7 playlist or anything like that. So to experience the 1 new map that they're supposed to have given us, you know, you gotta search up Team Deathmatch, the new Capture the Flag game mode, Domination, Occupy, whatever your game mode of choice is. You have to search that up and hope it appears in the map rotation to experience the new content. By having 2 new maps, it feels like there's a lot more new content in the game. You know, having those 2 new maps, therefore you have a much higher chance of seeing a new map show up in the map rotation. People get to jump in there, get their feet wet, try to learn the lines of sight, try to learn where the objectives are, how to play the map, how to flank. You know, it's fun having those 2 new maps. Again, I think it might be a bug, but who knows? I think it would be in their best interest to leave Rockefeller in right now. Keep Clubhouse, obviously, because that was supposed to be what came out today. It is in the game. And then the third map for Season 1, which is going to be Daytona, bring that out next month. Then if you have to, push forward one of the maps that they had planned for Season 2 and make that be the final map for Season 1. Then basically just keep pushing forward maps from previous seasons. That way, it seems like we have more content here at the very launch of Season 1, and it's more variety, and it gets people more excited and more hyped up for the game. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't a bug. Maybe they decided last second, you know what? Rockefeller 2, we're going to put that in there as well, you know? That could be the case. I suppose we are going to have to wait and see, but so far, the update feels incredible. I only had time to play for maybe 45 minutes this afternoon. I got a couple of matches here. I got to play on Clubhouse twice. I got to play on Rockefeller once. I did have to surf lobbies to find them, which again is a bit unfortunate. I think we should have like a new maps playlist or something like that so people can experience the new content in a much faster way. You know, it could be a situation where if you're somebody who doesn't have that much time to play, you know, you hop on for an hour or so and then you play Domination or whatever, you may spend your entire evening not being able to find one of the new maps that came out, and that would just feel really bad. You want to experience that new content, and obviously the XDefiant devs, they spend so much time making the maps, decorating them, making them flow, testing the spawns, you know, tweaking this or that. They want the content to be experienced for sure, and the player base wants to experience that content, so I feel like there should be a playlist there with the brand new maps, and I definitely think Rockefeller should stay because again, it is ridiculously fast paced on that map. I only got to play it one time, and who knows, if they take it away, I may not be able to play it again until next month, but still, it was fun playing that map. And then Clubhouse, my goodness, Clubhouse looks nice. Now, I'm not somebody who's ever played Rainbow Six. I like watching streams of Rainbow Six, but I've never actually played it. So I recognize the map from having watched a bunch of live streams, but I never got to experience it, you know? So actually running around on the map and seeing some locations that I recognize while still not exactly knowing where I'm going is such a great feeling. Being lost for the first time since like last summer when we first got our very first ever taste of XDefiant, it feels great. Being lost on these maps feels incredible. The new weapon camos, guys, the new weapon camos look ridiculously good. You now have a reason, if you're somebody who doesn't like, you know, to waste things, you know, once I get a gun up to level 200 and I got gold camo, you know, I did for the AK-47, the MP5, the M4, the Rafka pistol. That might be it. Those may be my only gold guns in the game right now. But still, it feels good knowing that I can use those guns, which are obviously my favorites. I have them at max level. You can now use them again to keep leveling them up to get the new mastery camos, which just look so damn good. They're pretty much all animated. The final camo looks the best in my opinion, but call me crazy, but the other two camos also look ridiculously nice. So having those mastery camos being there gives you more to grind for in the game. I will say I'm a little disappointed because there's not really any new challenges. And Mark Rubin has said in the past that they are working towards adding more meta things for you to go for, more challenges to complete and rewards for you to get, and I can't wait for that update because right now with Season 1, assuming during the preseason you unlocked all the characters and the devices and the weapons and things, there's only 2 new challenges, and those new challenges are after you unlock the GSK faction, and then you have to go out there and get kills or assists with the shockwire and then destroy equipment with the trophy system to unlock the 2 other GSK characters. I mean, having those challenges there is nice, but I don't think it's going to take that long to complete, and then after that you're just out of challenges, you know? And they did announce that prestige mode is going to be coming, kill cams and private matches. Like, a lot is coming to XDefiant, but I hope that something like a combat record for sure comes to the game. They did not update the combat record whatsoever, which is unfortunate, and I hope that more challenges come to the game just to give people more of that carrot on a stick, give us more of that sense of progression, because right now leveling up does feel good. It takes forever to level up your character, but that does feel fine, and being able to go for those mastery camos on your guns is also very good. I'm just hoping for a little bit more to do with the XDefiant as the game moves forward, but for right now I am a-okay with the content that we have because it is fun, it is enjoyable. Having 2 maps right now feels great. I'll try out the capture the flag game mode later on when I get back home, and guys, Season 1 feels ridiculously good. I'll do another video later on tonight when I get home, but for right now I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback on XDefiant Season 1 so far down there in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
YouTube, Alpha, what you doing? Hey guys, Deco here, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today we are here on season 1 of XDEFIANT. Now I did end up hopping on and playing a couple of games before I decided to record here. For some reason, I already have the LVOA, the new AR, however you want to call it. Somehow I already have this unlocked, even though if I go over to the battle pass, I'm not even tier 1. You're supposed to unlock it at tier 20. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I'll take it. But yeah, we're supposed to get the new AR at level 20, and then 50 is the new sniper, and then all the way at level 80 is when we go ahead and unlock the new secondary, being the sawed-off double barrel shotgun. I don't know why I said it like that, because honestly, I'm not too excited for this one, but I do kind of want to mess with the new sniper. It does look cool. It's supposed to be an in-betweener between the M44's speed and the TAC 50's power, so it might actually be the better sniper for whenever you're trying to just like quick scope and go for feeds and, you know, the fun stuff. If you're somebody who likes to sit at the back of the map hard scoping like an absolute weenie, it might not be for you. But yeah, so I played a couple of games with the LVOA AR here. Honestly, I really need to get extended mag or fast mags on this thing. It kind of runs out of ammo a little quick. They also went ahead and added CTF. Now, I'm not going to play CTF because it's got to be the most infuriating game mode imaginable right now, especially because everybody, for whatever reason, wants to go ahead and run the spider bot. Now, you guys might be thinking, but Decoy, didn't they just nerf the spider bot? Didn't they increase the cooldown of the spider bot? Well, yes, Kiting Teamy, they did. Slap on the ass for you. Good job, chat. The only thing is they actually buffed the spider bot in season 1 here. Now, I'm a little traumatized. I'm not trying to get heated, but I did play a game of CTF where the enemy team had 4 spider bots, and I wanted to, I was about to uninstall. I was overreacting. I had to simmer down, had to calm down. Not that deep. It's just a video game. It's just a video game. It's just a video game. Now, when I say they buffed the spider bot, I don't know if it's so much that they actually buffed the spider bot, or if they fixed something that was a bug for the spider bot, and now the spider bot's just stronger because it doesn't got the bug that was able to counter it before. Now, if you're wondering what bug I'm talking about, I'm referring to being able to look down and shoot the spider bot off your face after it just jumped on you. You can no longer look down and shoot spider bots off of you, which, like I said, I don't know if that was meant to be a feature from the start. I think it was probably a bug with how the hitboxes and everything work, because your teammates can obviously shoot the spider bot off of you. So I think like somehow if you look down, you were able to just clip the box and shoot it off of yourself, which to me was a good feature, whether it was intended or not. So I kind of hope they bring that back, make it a feature. I don't care. But the spider bots, they're absolutely annoying. Oh yeah, that's something else they added. They added the headshot icon to the top right. So whenever you die by a headshot, you can actually tell. I don't know if there's like a wallbang icon or not in the game yet, but it's a small detail, but a nice detail. Dude, holy shit. I can't even get onto the point right now. Dude, I'm getting rolled. I'm actually 3-8. First game on. First game back on, at least. Dude, the little ASP systems are actually so loud, too. Whoa, what was that? The flashbang like made an image of where I was before. The flashbangs have never done that before. It used to just look like somebody turned the light off and then it just slowly turned back on. Did they buff flash? Have never done that before. ASP systems are actually so loud, too. Whoa, what was that? The flashbang like made an image of where I was before. The flashbangs have never done that before. It used to just look like somebody turned the light off and then it just slowly turned back on. Did they buff flashbangs in this update too? They buffed the spider bot and then they buffed the flashbangs? Brother, man, what did they do to the game? There we go. We got 2 and we're dead. We're dead already. Come on, walk into it. I'm flashed. He's got a flash. I'm flashing again. What is going on? It looks like my game's frozen. What did you do to season 1? My whole team is quitting from this shit. All right, I got my flashbang shield. Come here, baby. Okay, it doesn't matter. I already lost it. Okay, great. I tried using my flashbang and I don't know how to bang the flash. One spider bot. Let's go. Where are you going, spider bot? Let's go. Okay, you're just teleporting. Get fucked. You can't even do nothing about it. There's literally nothing you can do about it. I'm having a fun time. This is a fun time right now. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just fuck. Shit on you. Suck. Fuck. I suck. Yeah, it's cheesy. I know. All right, right, GG. GG, just end the game. Why aren't they ending? They're being cocky. There we go. Thank God. End the game. That was the definition of a sweat fest. I got stomped. I'm gonna be honest. Our whole team got absolutely shit on, brother man. 49-14, 51-23, 53-15. I get it. Rank play drops tomorrow. All the sweats got to come in, you know, warm up a little bit, get their shot back on. You know, maybe they've been on a little bit of a vacation. They went out with the grandkids to the beach. I don't know. But holy shit, the sweats are back in full force with season 1 here, brother man. I'm hoping that rank play takes them away so I can go back to being the sweat, because like, goddamn, that was something. That was an experience. Hashtag bring back SBMM. I'm joking. Actually, I'm joking. Unpopular opinion, but I'd rather get shit on than SBMM be brought back. I don't give a frick. It's like we were supposed to get major challenges with this season, but the text still says more major challenges will become available next season. I'm assuming the text is wrong and we'll still get more major challenges this season. It's just they haven't dropped them yet. There we go. Nice little 2. I got to reload and I'm dead. Oh my God. What mode do the Giga Sweats not play? That's the mode I need to go to. I need to get out of these goddamn TTV or general genre. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. I feel like every dude I'm playing with is trying to go for TikTok clips, and I'm getting rolled. I'm getting stomped, brother man. I'm getting fucking gang. Hello, is this the McDonald's drive-thru? I believe I've gotten McGangbang. All right, ultimate, let's go. I'm getting shot in the back, please, I swear. Nice head glitch. You're so good at the game. Please have my children. Don't worry, guys. We can make a comeback with the power of friendship and teamwork on our side. Let's lock in, boys. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. G freaking G. That was a good day. 26-250. Holy shit. In the words of Eric Cartman the Great, I prefer to get wine and dined before I get absolutely fucked. I'm not just what are these teams? Why do I get the wet fucking noodles? And why do they got the MLG G Fuel snorting, scuff paddle flicking tryhards? You know, honestly, I like the new leveling up like screen thing that they're doing there. That's cool. That's a W. W season 1. Season 1's good. I'll be my nipples for good luck. Give me the new map. 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 Come on, creating match. New map. Fuck! Again and again and again with this map. Well, it seems like it's damn near impossible to get the new map. I played it twice, but I wasn't recording. Kinda wish I was, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of the map. I feel like the clubhouse map has the same issue that Mayday has, where it's just super big. So sometimes it can like be hard to find people. And when you do find people, they're all just hiding up in a little room. And I don't know, but whatever. We got arena for the 3rd time. But guess what? I've snorted 3 lines of G Fuel off the crack of a homeless hooker. I'm about to be absolutely turned. We're about to pop off. We're about to carry this game. We're about to lock in. What? Bullets! Do I shoot them? Enjoy the flash. I want to punch a baby. What do you mean, no? My grenade! What the fuck, season 1? So, yeah, that's season 1 of XDEFIANT. Super fun, great game, 10 out of 10 IGN game review. In all seriousness, it's just super sweaty right now because all the players coming in, warming up, getting their shots back on for rank play because it's dropping tomorrow. Like currently right now, rank play is just like a little bit of a trial run. I mean, I could be wrong, but at least in my mind, that's why it's like super sweaty. Coupled with not even the people who are going to be playing rank play, but just also it's a new season. All the people are coming back trying to sweat for their gameplays, for their YouTube, TikTok, whatever the fuck. Shit, I don't know. Maybe they added SBMM with season 1. Joking. But I mean, overall, I'm actually enjoying season 1. I haven't played it that much. I mean, it just came out. I am enjoying the new AR here. I definitely think I need to get like extended mag or fast mag just because right now it's like I'm dying every time I need to reload. But the new gun's cool. The new mastery skins look super sick. I can't wait to go ahead and start hammering up towards them. I mean, it's going to be quite the grind to do this with every gun. I don't know if I'm going to put myself through it. I probably will because I like fall torture and shit. But yeah, anyways, like I said, that's season 1 of XDEFIANT. Super dope. Can't wait to grind it more. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, sub. See you in the next one. Deuces.
What's up guys, my name is Ace, and by the time this video goes live, the Season 1 update for XDEFIANT should be here, assuming there are no issues, keeping in mind, of course, this is recorded before Season 1 actually goes live. But in today's video, I wanted to go through the patch notes and talk about all of the changes that we can expect to see with today's update. So we got some quality of life changes, some abilities balancing that many people have been asking for since the beginning of the game, a little bit of weapon tuning as well, although not a whole lot. And then I also want to briefly touch on the new content that we're expecting, like the new faction as well as the new weapons. But just keep in mind, with today's video, I'm not going to be diving super deep into the details of those, simply because I feel they deserve a lot more attention, and I'd like to actually dive in and do a bunch of detailed testing with those new elements so I can make dedicated videos for them. But without further ado, let's dive right into this. And one great quality of life change that came with this update is your double XP boosters will now only count down in gameplay time. They're not going to be counting down when you're in the menu, so this is like how old school Call of Duty used to work with their double XP, and I'm really happy to see this change. This is a very player-oriented change that not many games do anymore these days, and I think that's great that they're looking out for the players there. Next up, when it comes to XP, they've lowered the XP threshold for each Battle Pass tier for Season 1, so you should be able to get through those tiers noticeably faster than we could in the preseason. They've also tuned our match bonus XP rewards. So unfortunately for MVP and for just getting a victory in the game, before Season 1, you would get 2,000 XP for each of those. Now we're only getting 1,000 XP for each of those. And then also, if you get a draw, you used to get 1,000 XP, but now you're only getting 500 XP with Season 1. However, on the upside, there was actually a net improvement here if you stick it out to the end of matches, because our completion bonus went from 2,000 XP up to 4,000 XP. So just sticking in the game right to the end will give you a guaranteed 4,000 XP, win or lose. And therefore, even if you are the MVP in the game, you are going to be getting more total XP after the Season 1 update than you did before the Season 1 update as the MVP. And I think this is great. This should at least help discourage people from leaving the game. Although one fear I have with this is, at least in the game's current state, there's no AFK kick timer, and therefore if you get your character in a match, you can just set your controller down and your character will stand there for the entire game, and they'll never get kicked, so you're taking up a valuable team slot and not contributing anything to help your team out. And now after the Season 1 update, you're going to get a total of 4,000 XP for doing literally nothing. So kicking people that are AFK is something I really hope they're able to implement soon, because I could see this potentially getting out of hand, especially with this increased bonus. In either case, the next thing they've added is a headshot icon to the kill feed, so that's excellent to see. Another thing on top of this that I just wanted to point out is I would also still like to see an icon in the kill feed if you get shot through some form of cover for that last bullet that killed you, just to help explain certain situations where you're not sure if you died around a corner or through some cover. But the headshot indicator is a nice step in the right direction. Next, let's talk about the new faction a little bit. This is GSK. And with this, one of their abilities is the electrified barbed wire that you can throw down for area denial, whereas their other ability is the active defense system, which is like a trophy system from Call of Duty. So you throw this device down and it will block any incoming equipment for a duration of time. Next, for their Ultra, it's essentially a riot shield that has a flash charge on it as well, so you can use it to block bullets and flash enemy players. And then finally, their passive trait is they don't have a headshot multiplier. You deal the same amount of damage to the head as the body, and with sniper rifles, it appears they take the lowest damage value for their headshot. So you don't get the upper torso damage with a sniper rifle when you get shot in the head. You're getting like the foot damage when shot in the head, which I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I'm curious to see how this plays out, but that does seem a little bit backwards that you're able to get a one-shot kill to the upper torso with a sniper rifle, but you won't get a one-shot kill to the head against GSK players with that same sniper rifle. But I'm willing to at least give this a shot and see how it ends up playing out over time. Perhaps my opinion will change on that. Then continuing on with the faction section, let's talk about some of the ability balancing that we got with the Season 1 update, and some great things are in here. The first thing is with Echelon's Intel suit, they just increased the cooldown from 30 seconds up to 40 seconds. So that should at least reduce the spamminess of this a little, although I'm not sure if this is going to be quite enough to resolve a lot of the issues and complaints that the community has with this. At the very least, this should make it a little bit less oppressive in game. Then for Phantom's mag barrier, this is that shield wall that they can shoot up. They also increase the cooldown from 30 seconds up to 40 seconds for this, so you're going to see those less often. And on top of this, they reduce the health of that shield from 500 down to 400. So it's actually going to be a bit easier to destroy those shields as well. After that one, for the Phantom's ultimate ability, it will now take damage from EMP grenades, although it's going to take 6 EMP grenades to completely take one out, which is pretty crazy. And realistically, it seems EMPs aren't really a solid counter to that. Then with DedSec's hijacked ability, they decrease the cooldown on this from 28 seconds down to 20 seconds, plus the remaining duration of whatever equipment you have hacked in that moment. The cooldown will start the moment that hacked equipment is expired. But I really like to see that, not only because it should discourage people from using SpiderBot a little bit more, especially when we look at the nerfs to the SpiderBot in just a second, but on top of that, I just feel like this ability isn't the most powerful out there because it's the type of thing that can only be used in the right situations when you happen to come across something that can be hacked. And as a result, I think it's totally fair that it has a faster cooldown period compared to many of the other abilities in the game that you have much more control over. After that though, let's talk about the SpiderBot. They made some adjustments to this. The first thing is they increased the cooldown from 25 seconds all the way up to 40 seconds. So that's going to be a lot less spammable than before Season 4. And if you have somebody using a SpiderBot in the game, you're not going to see those SpiderBots nearly as often as pre-patch. But then on top of this, they adjusted the SpiderBot behavior so multiple SpiderBots won't attempt to hug the same face. That's something I saw a few times where one person would have a SpiderBot attached to their face and there'd be another one standing at their feet just waiting to jump on them immediately after, which is kind of funny, but also obviously a very frustrating experience that I don't think should be taking place and shouldn't be now after this update. But on top of that, they also say SpiderBots will no longer continue to ignore faces that they've hugged multiple recent times. So in a way, that's a slight buff to that as well. So it's a little bit of give and take, as they say in the patch notes. In general, at least, I'm mainly just glad to see that the cooldown period has increased pretty drastically on that, while also seeing a buff to hijack. So hopefully more DedSec players will lean in the direction of hijack over that SpiderBot. But moving on to the next ability change here, this is to Libertad's BioVita boost. They reduced the cooldown on that from 35 seconds down to 20 seconds. The patch notes say it went from 25 seconds down to 20, but I just checked for myself and it was 35 seconds before this update. So that is a pretty big buff to the cooldown, and it's nice to see since that ability has been quite weak since launch. And then finally, for faction adjustments, with Libertad's ultimate, it will no longer disappear after you deploy it if you respawn with a different faction immediately after dying. And there we go. That wraps it up for all of the ability tuning that took place with this update. And I would say definitely some solid changes here. I think we're going to see some improvements to some areas where people had complaints. But of course, time will tell when it comes to this. We do need to get some playtime to see how this plays out after these updates. Next, there's a new map they added to the game. This is Clubhouse, which you guys might recognize from Rainbow Six Siege. For game modes, they've added Capture the Flag, which I'm really excited to hop into. I think CTF's going to play super well for this game. And now let's get into the weapons section here. The first thing they did is they improved the hit flinch penalty when using sniper rifles. So a few weeks ago, we had that update where they drastically increased the amount of flinch you experience when you're sniping. However, apparently that wasn't enough according to their data. So another thing they've done here is the speed of that flinch is increased by 25%. So you're going to be flinching up faster. They've also made it so your camera will now always kick upward rather than sometimes upward and sometimes downward. And they mentioned it was at random. Whereas a little bit of testing that I did in game, which is difficult because it's not a controlled environment, I thought you would flinch downward if you get shot in the head and upward if you got shot in the body. But apparently that wasn't the case. That was just random. And this is just another reason that I would really like to see some actual custom game ability so I can do proper testing rather than doing my best to make assumptions based on just analyzing gameplay from real matches. But in either case, now your flinch will always kick upward with sniper rifles. And then on top of this, they increase the amount your flinch will kick either left or right by 3 times. So there should be a lot more horizontal deviation as well, not just upward deviation. Now, unfortunately, for weapon balancing adjustments, that's the only thing we saw with this update. Not that the weapon balancing is in a terrible state, in my opinion. I think most of the guns are perfectly viable to use, with just some exceptions in there that I think could use a little bit of work. But then on top of this, we got a new sniper rifle with this update, the L115, which they describe as a middle ground between the TAC-50 and the M44. We also have the LVOA-C, which is similar to the M4A1, but a much faster fire rate and more recoil and less range. And then finally, for new weapons with the Season 1 update, we got the sawed-off shotgun, and that's a secondary weapon. So instead of a pistol, you can have a short sawed-off shotgun that doesn't have the same range as the double barrel. And also, they mentioned that it doesn't have nearly the same movement speed as the pistols in the game. So that is going to be another downside to having this in your inventory, is you're not going to get that crazy good speed boost for your opening routes, for instance, or routes off of a respawn. So there are some trade-offs there, although I gotta say, I'm a little concerned about this just based on some of the gameplay clips I saw. It seemed pretty effective, and the secondaries in this game are generally not that powerful. This one might be. And now that we have that out of the way, they've actually added new mastery skins as well for our weapons. So at rank 300 for a weapon, you're going to get Titanium Violet. At rank 350, you'll get Titanium Azure. And at weapon rank 400, you get Titanium Prisma. And these are really nice looking camos. So for those really heavy grinders out there, they can grind toward these. And then finally in the weapon section, they just mentioned they fixed weapons and optics shake in first-person view while using aiming down sight. Next in the patch notes for our devices, they have a new and improved visual effect for the flash grenade that's described as being less intense than the previous one, so I don't think it's going to make your screen go completely white and totally blind you, although you could always turn the setting on to make it so it turns black. And then they also fixed an exploit where players could respawn with multiple devices by using the copy loadout feature. As for the social tab here, they've added a creator code program, which I have submitted for. I'll keep you guys updated if I happen to get a creator code for this, and essentially that just allows you to support a creator. If you're buying anything in-game, that creator will get a cut without increasing the cost to you. They also disabled the ability to create a party with enemy players because somehow you were able to do that in-game, and that sounds a little sketchy because it seems like you could do some boosting that way, so you shouldn't be able to do that now. And they've disabled whispers in the text chat. As for audio, they didn't really give us any specifics here. They just mentioned they tweaked the mix of in-game voices and sound effects for volume and clarity. And then finally, for the miscellaneous section here, our closed beta reward, the Kersey's Dungaree skin. Apparently that wasn't unlocking for people, and now it should be unlocked. They also fixed some challenge tracking with Ubisoft Connect. There were some graphical and audio fixes, various. They didn't specify exactly what changed there. And then just additional crash fixes. And there we go. That is going to wrap it up for all of the changes that took place with the Season 1 updates. And overall, definitely some solid changes in there. I'm really looking forward to hopping in and playing, trying some of the new content. I'm looking forward to seeing that ability balancing, so hopefully the meta there will shift a little bit, and the more frustrating abilities won't be quite as constant. And this is where I'm curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Based on what you guys have seen so far with Season 1, how are you feeling about everything? How are you guys feeling about the changes they made to the abilities? What are your thoughts on the new faction, the GSK faction, and the fact that not even snipers will get a one-shot headshot against them? Just let me know all of the thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.